Hello, hello. How's it going today? We're going to be doing some designing live, as the title suggests. I'm going to be working on some custom order designs as well as some designs for blades that I'm going to be forging here on live whenever I can kind of get back to the forging streams in the shop, because right now it is ungodly hot outside. And so I moved inside where you've been working on leather work together, and I did some sheath designs and stuff yesterday, cut those out, templated them. We're going to be moving forward on them beginning of next week, but right now I decided I want to take a moment to get on and just do some drawing, some sketching, some kind of brain work with all of your input. What's up in Finland? How you doing? Awesome to see some people from Finland in here. What time is it over there right now? But right now I just have some yo Texan guy and LL coming in with a bang. Thank you so much for the heart and for the roses. Really appreciate you guys. How you doing today? And yeah, so right now I'm just kind of looking at some images on Google. I'm looking at historic blades and just trying to find some inspiration, wondering if there's something that maybe I hadn't thought about making that I want to try out, or maybe some elements from some other stuff that I might want to incorporate into some of my work. I find this to be a really inspiring way to just brainstorm a little bit. I've been kind of into more challenging work lately, and I'm thinking about moving into some like even more challenging stuff, such as some intricate hilted rapiers. Would be really fun. They are a favorite of mine, and I haven't done much, if any, of them in my forging career. So I thought that it could be kind of fun to maybe explore the world of intricate guards in the lives that come. Zoom 10K, what is up? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the lightning bolts and for the heart. Appreciate you. How you doing today? Oh, damn it. So it's late over there. That's right. It's late. I'm not reading that poorly. But yeah, so just doing design work today. We're gonna do some drawing together, some sketching. I would also love to hear input from you. If there are some blades you want to see me forge on live or in my TikTok videos, drop them in chat. Let me know. Give me some inspiration. Maybe tell me your favorite weapons from history or from movies or video games. Whatever fascinates you. Maybe we could work on some designs. I really like taking elements from both fantasy and historic weaponry and then implementing them into my own creations. I think that'd be super fun. Yeah, my schedule is notoriously unpredictable. I did gain a certain level of consistency for 3 or 4 days, but that has gone to hell now, mostly due to the weather. It's just been too hot, so I've been kind of getting late starts. And yo, MJ, how's it going? Yeah, and I have no propane. Thank you so much for the little crown and for the heart. Hola, how's it going? Make sure I'm not missing anybody. But yeah, my schedule is shambles. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? I know. My schedule's all over the place, but I am going to be trying to do more consistent as far as daily lives now that I can do it from inside, because I was really getting burnt out doing it outside during the summer. Zoom, thank you so much for the team bracelets. Really appreciate you. Yeah, I pronounce mine Ashe. There's an accent on the E at the end, but like for instance, I can't put that in my TikTok username, so most people have no way of knowing. I do go by Ashe as well, just for ease sometimes, particularly over the phone. If I call my bank or something, I'm like, hey, my name's Ashe Cravenock. They're like, huh? I'm like, Ashe Cravenock, and they're like, okay, we can work with that. How do you spell your last name? So, I respond to both. And Overwatch, yes. Ryan, thank you so much for the tiny diny. I love them. How you doing today, Ryan? But yeah, so if you guys want to see some of what I do more normally, this is a little abnormal for my live streams. You can go check out my TikTok profile to see some of my blacksmithing work, and then for an even closer look at my work and what I do, go check out my website. It's linked in my TikTok profile. It's ashecravenock.com. Over there, you can find my links tab. You can find my shop, all that good stuff. So you can find my other socials, the other content that I create, and of course the things that I make. I would really appreciate you looking at it. You know, it means a lot to me. It is my passion. I'm doing good, Graham. How are you? How are you? Things are good over here. Nice to be inside. Nice to have a semblance of air conditioning. Something I've definitely been missing over the past few weeks. But anyhow, back to what I was working on. I'm just kind of scrolling Google images here of historic weapons, trying to gain some inspiration for some designs that I want to try out when as the weather kind of starts to cool down. Moving into September, I'm going to be able to be out in the shop a lot more. Very excited about that, because we're going to get over this 100-degree heat with a little bit of luck, that is. So figured, why not get some plans made now for what I'm going to do then, both for videos on TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff, as well as the projects I'm going to be making on live with all of you. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, please do let me know. Oh, I can put pencils behind my ear. This is a heavy pencil. I wasn't sure it was going to work. Let me know if you have a favorite weapon, if you have a favorite game or movie that I should take some inspiration from because you just love the style. Let me know, because that stuff can be so much fun. I really like drawing inspiration from the world around me and the people around me. The country of origin for my name. So it's kind of French, but it comes from Africa. That's where my dad got it from anyhow. But the word Ashe actually exists in a number of languages around the world. In Portuguese, certain regions of Africa, certain regions of India and the Middle East, and I believe a few other places that I am not recalling right now. But the word kind of comes from Creole French, interestingly enough, if that makes any sense. Yeah, ooh. You know, something I haven't made yet that is actually another favorite sword of mine is a good old-fashioned spatha, which is a Roman cavalry sword. It's very similar to a gladius, but it's a lot longer and a lot. I would consider it a finer blade, even though it's also a bigger blade. The gladius is a very brutish weapon. Frankly, it's powerful, it's strong, but it's kind of heavy. It's kind of clunky. It's all about just, you know, it's a killing machine. The spatha is, you know, similar in function, but it's meant to be wielded from horseback, so you kind of need that speed. And being that it's longer, it also has to have a little bit more, a little bit less weight in some ways, at least a weight proportionally to its size. Whereas a gladius, being that it's such a short sword, a lot of your weight is right at the hilt, right in the hand. So it's kind of, you have a lot of leverage on a gladius, making it ideal for close quarters combat. Whereas a spatha is more medium range as far as a sword goes. Anyhow, I find them to be really beautiful, elegant weapons and extraordinarily functional. So that might be a fun thing to do, especially now that I'm doing more fullering work, because they classically had some pretty sexy fullers on them. Ooh, a Xena chakram, that'd be fun. Yes, exactly as Chantal put it. Hopefully that ice clinking wasn't annoying. Let me know if it is. I can move my drink. It's hot out, so I'm drinking ice, cold drinks. But yeah, chakram, super fun. Let me actually just draw a circle, because this will remind me. But I could totally forge a chakram. That'd actually be a really fun live project, because it's something I could finish out in a single live. Could maybe even get that heat treated if I'm speedy about the forging. That might be kind of fun. And then I love putting a sexy handle on a chakram. There's so much opportunity there. Yo, what is up, Herb? So good to see you. And John, how you doing today? I actually just got on like a couple minutes ago, so you didn't miss nothing. So good to see you, John. So good to see you, Herb. How are you both doing today? Thank you, John, for the heart. Let me just move this. This is like right next to my microphone. So I'm thinking a chakram. I'm thinking a already lost it. Oh yeah, I want to do maybe a spatha. But I'm really feeling these ornate guards lately. I want to do something rapier-y. And I actually saw a really interesting image of one. I liked the hilt on. So I was thinking maybe, ooh, that would also be fun. Doing a twin set of butterfly swords would be kind of cool. I love forging twin sets just because, like, there's something so fun about the challenge of using a hammer to make two pieces of metal look the same. I don't know. It's so fun. Zoro, what's up? What's up? Wait, what? Oh, Zoro the sword. I remember a guy named Zoro hanging out in lives. Yes, Zoro was actually a huge inspiration to me as a child. I got really into rapiers and fencing because of Zoro. There we go. This is what I was looking for. It's a terrible picture, though. Let's see. Oh, interesting. I'm actually working on a saber right now. Let me do a little drawing with you. Yeah, he uses a rapier. He uses a Spanish rapier, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, very, very Spanish in design, which is actually Spanish swords are kind of my least favorite, weirdly enough. But I love the style of everything else. I just really don't like the cup hilt, which his is a variation of that, but it is still a cup hilt in style. And for some reason, they're just not it to me. I've never loved that style. It definitely. Now, while that sword specifically doesn't fit within it, the whole vibe gives encrusted to me, and I am not an encrusted kind of dude. It's all very encrusted. I much prefer French and Italian style rapiers. Yeah, the French ones are just so elegant. And let me actually refresh my memory on the Italian. Yeah, the Italian ones are pretty too. They're kind of like, they kind of blend the French and the Spanish in a really pleasing way. I really like how they move up the sword. But I really like a basket hilt, or actually a simplistic hilt. Oh God, class, it's so embarrassing. How'd you enjoy it? That's a pretty sword. See, and that's kind of Spanish. That's giving encrusted. But let me do a little doodle, just a little doodle here, of maybe. There's also something really fun about doing a curved bladed rapier if we're going for like a still a thrusty kind of weapons. We're going for a very pointy tip, long, thin blade, but with a curve on it can be really fun. Just for a slightly different look, it makes it to where it's not so classic, and it brings a different kind of elegance into it. And it also perfectly blends a thrusty or a stabby and a slashy blade, which is kind of fun. It's like almost buttress at the bottom on this image I'm looking at. And then this has a really interesting fuller design of having a kind of standard fuller down the middle and then two very skinny fullers on either side of it, which is kind of fun. Kind of obsessed with the multi-fuller construction right now after successfully pulling off that double fuller on the saber I was working on. And this would have a kind of, I don't know if you can really see what I do. Oh, you can. Yeah, those were, the Sengizi is a funky one. That is a strange weapon. Man, when I saw that, when I saw that sitting on the bench, and they were like, "You're gonna have to make this." I a dookie in the pants. That was unexpected. I did not know that I could do it. I was pretty sure that everything was just Jover to begin with, but I pulled it through. In fact, I made 2 of them. Oh yeah, A for sure. I use. Is my microphone not working? One moment. Hopefully my audio got fixed. Any better? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? Okay. This microphone situation is, you know, it's strange. Yeah, I don't know why it cuts out sometimes. It's strange. Like it switches from my mic audio to my phone audio. I don't know. Is it back to the mic? Is it still on the phone? Like, can you hear background noise? Because this. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I definitely do use my own work though. Every day in the kitchen, I own a bunch of kitchen. Actually, I think all of my kitchen knives I made, and most of them were like rejects that I kind of like. I didn't like something about them, so I was like, I'm not gonna sell this. I'll just use it. I don't really keep the best stuff for myself. I really should sometimes, but yeah, I use kitchen knives that I made every single day, and I've actually surprised myself with some of them. They're so fun to use, and it's just insane how practical carbon steel is in the kitchen. It's just so sharp. It just glides through whatever you're doing. And then I also have a number of machetes and like kind of camp knives that I'll use whenever I need something like that, which isn't infrequent, but it is also infrequent. And then I have some of my other work. One thing that I can't talk about due to NDAs because of television that will air sometime in the future. And then I can't say that I have any like particularly fun things that I've made that I use anyhow. I would love to make myself some swords for photo props. I think that'd be really fun, but I have not done that yet. So for this blade, it's looking like it's got these kind of almost D-rings right at the guard here. And just right off the bat, I'm like, damn dude, this is proportionally messed up. I don't like that. But we're just kind of sketching. We're getting ideas here. We're just getting ideas. And then it's got the crossed guard, which is something like this. I'm not loving the proportion of this blade quite yet, but that is okay. And that kind of goes like that and like that. And then from underneath there at about the same place as this, we got a bit of a D guard coming in. Handle is a standard kind of oval belly handle. I'm so bad at copying images. I'm like also changing it as I go, so that makes it fun. Something kind of like that, and then let's actually just widen this blade and lengthen it so that it kind of works in my mind. Kind of strange, but I'm going with it. I liked it. I like it well enough. And then I kind of want to do maybe, I don't know how I join it here, but kind of cool to like twist it together and then do a curly Q at the bottom. That'd be kind of fun to do something like that. And then I could do a wire wrap handle. Something classic. Something very classic. A lot of the hilts of swords around this time period were wire wrapped, which, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a very, very good grip. And it's stylish. It's just very clean. And what I like about, and actually this would look a lot better with a straight blade. Yeah, and okay, so this is my little conspiracy theory about my episode. If you look at the slow-mo on, I think it was the hit right before it broke or the hit that it actually did break on, you can see like it went through the shield. It was what I see, what I speculate. It went through the shield and it hit the metal backing that was supporting the shield. I actually think that if it just hit the shield or hadn't hit the shield right in that like really structural spot, I think it would have held up. But that design for a weapon is just not super functional, particularly for destroying armor or shields. It was never meant for that. They were traditionally made out of wrought iron, like bloom steel, or not bloom steel, but like crucible iron that they just sifted from sand in nearby valleys and that kind of thing. They were very ceremonial weapons, but they were not very functional weapons. So, I think that it may have fared better against just softer targets. That said, my competitor Levi, as his testing was about to start, he leaned over to me and he was like, GG, mine's got a crack right in the middle. He knew there was a crack there because he used cable Damascus and there was a DLAM. And he didn't correct it. Doomed him. But man, I thought it was over when mine broke. It was so fun watching the testing though. They really go for it. Like there is nothing staged there. They are going for it. Well, actually, that looks so much better with a straight edge. To kind of simulate the fullers I'm going to add. Jordan, thank you so much for the tiny dinies. How you doing today? Ashling, how are you doing? User 5257346860724. How are you doing today? Thank you so much. Yeah, Doug is a very talented wielder of the blade. Jordan, thank you so much for the tiny dinies. Throwing it down as always. I appreciate you. How have you been? What's up? I've been catching some of Walker's lives using the knives, and it's just so cool to see them moved on to their life and just getting used and appreciated. Like, I don't know, that it makes me so happy. So I just really appreciate you not only supporting me in getting the knife, but also supporting him and gifting it to him. It's just, I don't know, there's something really magical about that to me. Oh, yo, is he in here? I missed it if he is. I know it's it's been way too hot out there. So I'm doing indoor lives. I'm doing some design work today. Did some leather work yesterday. Yo, Chris, what's up? Seth, how's it going? Good to see y'all today. How you doing? But yeah, no, I'm getting excited to go back out and kind of making some plans for whenever I can start forging again, designing some weapons to build, and that kind of thing. I'm doing some custom design as well. I might be working on Chris's karambit in the background, but he can't see it, so it's not gonna happen. Just can't see it. Got to keep things a surprise. Ryan, thank you for the follow. But yeah, so I'm hanging out inside, staying cool. I am too. I'm so excited. It's been so long since I've made a karambit. I'm really stoked to do it. Okay, what I need to do, so two things. Um, I like the idea of doing a hilt like this. I think I might carve it out of wax. I think that'd be fun because the picture I'm referencing here is a very ornate. They may have used gold, but probably not, just because it'd be so weak. I bet it's bronze too, but it's a full bronze hilt. Obviously, very ornately cast and carved, and I'm kind of like, I kind of want to replicate that. I want to do that. Ryan, thank you for the tiny diny. Really appreciate it. Uh, Privacy is important, John. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not entirely sure of the reference, but it is true. Um, yeah, seriously, thank you for introducing us, Jordan. Like, it's so awesome having Chris in here. Seems like a dope guy, just like you. And just thanks for you're always making those connections. Like, I had kind of like scrolled through Walker's live once, thought that was cool, and then I didn't follow him, so I never saw him again. And you sent me his stuff, and now like we're chilling, we're following each other on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And he seems like an awesome dude, and yeah, just you put people together. I love that. Um, so I was thinking about spathas. I was thinking about rapiers. Let me go back to spathas. How do you spell that? Yeah. Again, spathas are a Roman cavalry sword. Really like them. It's just in my personal opinion, a sleeker version of a Roman gladius. A little bit longer, a little bit lighter. Yeah, privacy in this economy? Are you serious? Oh, to acre. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes, I do have knives for sale. I have a few available on my website. I will say my inventory is a little bit low right now. I am working on some inventory in the background. Which, by the way, if you are interested, for being the first to know about new blade drops, definitely go sign up for my email list on my website. Um, it's the best way to know. I'm going to start utilizing that a little bit more for whenever I release new blades. How do you make your items sturdier than others? So the first and foremost is, starting with the foundation. The steel I use is extremely high quality, high carbon steel that has a higher vanadium content than a lot of more basic high carbon steels out there on the market. Meaning that this combined with my perfect heat treat achieved through a Paragon's kiln, heat treating kiln, I'm able to get an insanely tight grain structure on an already insanely strong steel. This makes it just so much more resilient to both abrasion, meaning wear resistance on the edge, as well as flexibility and all that, depending on the application of the blade. So by starting with a strong foundation, good steel, a solid heat treat, and a really nice temper, you're able to just kind of step yourself ahead of everything else on the market instantly. And then I put a lot of thought into the overall geometry of my blades, the geometry and depending on the blade, I will add a differential heat treat as well to just kind of support everything in however it needs to be used. Because every blade is different. A kitchen knife to a machete are going to be doing completely different tasks. And in that, they need completely different heat treats, different geometries on the edge, different styles of handle, different kinds of materials used for the blades or for the handle. So just kind of keeping all of this in mind is the main way that I make my stuff stronger and sturdier than the other blades on the market. 99% of blades that you can buy, what did I just accidentally open with my elbow? 99% of blades that you can buy are stainless steel, and then the other 1% are really crappy tool steel. And I'm speaking from factories. This is specifically like anything run of the mill is pretty much gonna be 440 stainless, or sometimes you'll pay more to get a slightly better stainless, but it's all stainless. You're just gonna have a crappy edge. Those knives literally cannot achieve the sharpness that mine can to begin with, much less hold it. And then going past that into really high-end knives like Benchmade and that kind of thing, you're going to be looking at like D2, and then sometimes you'll be looking at other steels. Like I'm trying to remember what I recently bought a Benchmade that had a better steel than that, but it's still tool steel, and they're only like heat treated to 58 Rockwell or so. And they're good, but again, they just cannot achieve that edge that high carbon steel can, and they cannot hold it anywhere near as well. The caveat of that is that my knives require a little bit more care than those knives, because they are susceptible to rust and corrosion if not properly taken care of. That's one big thing, and that's the reason, aside from price, that consumer knives are made out of stainless is they are foolproof. You know, like your blade isn't going to rust if you mistreat it. And it's really cheap. And it also encourages the blade to break and you buy another one, whereas I do not do that. I'm sorry. Totally rambling there. Have you ever made a K-bar? K-bar? I think you mean K-bar. The one in the movie Beastmaster. I haven't seen Beastmaster, but if you were talking about a K-bar knife, it's a very standard military-style combat knife with a stacked leather handle. I have made a couple of those in the past, and they're really fun to make out of a chunky piece of steel, something with a really thick edge. Let me just Google this really quick. Oh, I was completely wrong about that. Ooh, I have not made one of these. This is cool. So this is like a flippy do. Okay, I know what you're talking about. This is awesome. Yeah. If you're talking about the it's like a multi-blade. It's almost like 4 axe blades in one knife. It's about this big, and it all flips up. That is dope. That is really cool. Yeah, right, Simon? I'm beating the heat, hanging out inside, and I also haven't gotten propane yet. Oh, thank you so much, Simon, for the huggy bear. I still don't know who Tom is, but I do appreciate it. Thank you, Glass. You know, I do check my email. MW, which email are you sending me an email to? I just checked it yesterday. I do not check my DMs, if that is what you mean. But email, you may have sent it to the wrong place because I checked my email this morning. I checked it this afternoon. Pretty on top of emails. Sometimes it does take me a minute to get back to people if it requires a more thought out response and I just don't have time at that very moment, but I reply to emails pretty well and daily. So yeah, you may have sent it to the wrong email. It's Cravenock@gmail.com. It's the same as my TikTok username without the dot in between Ashe and Cravenock. But yeah, caber knife. This would be fun. This would be a really fun project. This is more of a fabrication project than a forging project, which is something I tend to lean away from, just for my own personal, enjoyment in the project. Yo, Jordan, thank you so much for the tiny dinies, my man. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate you, Jordan. You know, I love to see them dinosaurs ticking up. You're amazing. Thank you so much. But yeah, this would be a really dope project to make. And the reason that I would fabricate this versus forging it is because it's supposed to fit together. It looks really cool, but it has to fit together, which means that you need really flat surfaces to not have any wiggle in there. And in forging, I achieve flat surfaces, but I don't achieve machine flat surfaces, which means that basically things are going to catch, or they're just not quite going to be super snug when it's together. And you want it to be snug. You don't want a rattly knife, which is why I don't do a lot of multi-piece folding blades. You can do a single blade, but you can't do multi-blade without just cutting it out of steel. Ooh. Fruba? Is that how you say that? Let me check it out. I'm so not used to using laptops for some reason. From the shadow. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I had someone interested in a knife like this as a custom order like 2 years ago, and then they didn't end up placing the order, and I was actually kind of bummed about that. I meant to make one anyhow, and then just didn't. I would love to make this. This would be fun. Let me just show you guys really quick for anyone. I don't know how well that's coming across, but it's a kind of, I would describe this as the knife you would find in a temple, or that you would get stabbed by in a temple. Really cool, almost like a spear point arrowhead, as the like a modern hunting tip as the blade. So you're looking at like a really aggressive stabber with an ornate cast handle, which really fits in with what I've been enjoying lately. Something like this you can make from, you could do this in a couple ways. One way, the hard way, but kind of the fun way, would be to use a guillotine tool to split down each side and just kind of slowly work out a round or square piece of steel. I'd probably take a square piece and then make it a hexagon, I would assume. Yeah, a hexagon, and then I would cut in from both sides at once using a fullering tool and a hammer to kind of separate out these blades. And then once I had enough room in there to get on the edge of the anvil, I would hammer out each one individually and kind of work it down that way, which would be really fun to do in the forge. And then I would forge a tang out from it that would then get the handle probably cast around it in place and then peened over. I think what I would probably do is put the blade itself into the sand and then cast the handle on it in place, and this would still allow me, the heat treat would be tricky on that though, with the bronze already on it. Although I will say I could probably heat treat it before I do it and then just cool that bronze quickly and I'd be fine. Because this, this is more of a stabby piece than it is a cutty piece. So if we lose a little bit of temper down in this bottom section, that's really not a huge deal. It would actually be good for the overall strength of the knife. So I'd probably heat treat and finish the blade before I cast the bronze handle on it. That would be fun. Oh, that'd be fun. That's a cool piece. Sorry. Just put my hand on my mic. Yeah, I made a twin set for brothers once. I did it was a hunting knife set. They were really cool, and then I did one with a black handle, one with a red handle, as one brother's favorite color was red, and one was black, and but they were identical otherwise. It was a fun project. I really like making stuff like that. Okay, we'll do MW. I will give it a look. Apologies for missing it, but I will definitely give it a look. Title Tough TV. It may have gone to my spam. That title may have gotten flagged by spam on Gmail. This is my office. This is my desk butted up against the back of my other desk in the nicest corner of my house. I have a lot of work to do. Ooh, that's cool. So yeah. I am really liking the idea of doing is it a Fruba dagger? Like that sounds wrong, but sounds wrong. I don't know. But anyhow, I'm really liking the idea of doing this kind of blade style, and then doing my own kind of design for the carving of the handle. I think that'd be just so much fun. I think it'd be really fun. Because I've been super into casting kind of this year. Let's see. It's kind of, yeah, I would say end of last year, like the later quarter of last year into this year, I got really into wax carving and casting. It was kind of my winter project. Whenever it was too cold to be outside, I was inside carving wax, and I had a lot of fun doing it. It's just so satisfying, and wax is really fun because it's additive as well as reductive. I can always warm up the wax, drip more hot wax onto it to kind of build up areas that I may have cut too deep or whatever. So it's just fun. It's very relaxing to me. Yeah, my partner and my dogs are here with me. Yeah, I'll have to check him out as well. That sounds cool. I love some good art. It is a sign of dehydration. That is because I am probably dehydrated even though I'm drinking water this whole time. Oh, nice, Chris. I actually have yet to, yeah, I'd rock with some music. Music would be dope. I have yet to do lost wax casting. I've done only sand casting because I cannot afford the setup to start into plaster casting yet. I'm really, really hopeful that I will be able to. I assume maybe I can get into that next spring, budget-wise, and I'm very excited for that moment when I can, because I really want to get like set up to do like the vacuum casting and everything, and then I need to get like the flasks and all that. It's not that expensive, but it's like $700 worth of stuff, and I don't have a very good kiln for casting in either. I can only heat up a crucible in my forge. I got this graphite crucible that I cut in half so it fit in my forge. I can fit a little bit of bronze in there. So I'm also kind of limited on size. I think I might be able to fit enough bronze in my flask to do a handle like this, though, especially for a dagger. If I'm only going like this long and keep it kind of thin, like silver dollar size at the base, and then like quarter up from there, and then about like 5-6 inches. I think that I can make it happen with the current setup I have. But I had to build like a bigger area for me to sandcast into. Nice, Chris. Yeah, I've been eyeing those. Just like the simple one on Amazon's like the two deal that everybody uses. I don't know what kind you have. Yo, what's up, Rose Fairy? How you doing? It's been a while. Hope things have been well for you. Yeah, what kind of stuff do you make? Casting's so much fun. It's like, I don't know, it's so chill. There's something really, really fun and relaxing about it. Nice. That's dope. Oh, that's so cool. I think sculpture would be really fun. It's something I haven't played with very much, but would love to kind of get into in the future. I'm glad you were traveling. I'm sorry you got sick, but I'm glad you're feeling better now. Where'd you go? Anywhere fun, or just like, kind of visiting families, friends, that kind of thing? What's up, Alex? How's it going? Ossification. Yeah, indoor, rocking that 100-degree heat, and I still haven't gotten propane. I'm being a procrastinator. And you know what's awesome about procrastination with things like getting propane? Tomorrow is the weekend, and I can't do it over the weekend. So I get like a 4-day break of going to the propane store. Yo, love you too, Kevin. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I hope that things calm down in your life and you get to just chill like you deserve. I hope you enjoy your weekend. It is so good to see you. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, hells yeah, Rose. That's awesome. Oh, nice. That's super cool. My friend Alex, Ossification here in chat, is a 3D printer as well. He's really good at modeling and printing, and I'm going to be doing some work with him in the future. I'm really excited, actually. That would be a real... Ooh! This would be a great project to work with Alex on, actually. We were just talking about doing a Fruba. I'm definitely saying this wrong. A PHURBA ritual dagger, similar to the one from the movie The Shadow. And it might be kind of cool to 3D print the handle of that and then cast it in wax, because something I was thinking, or cast it in bronze, something I was thinking in this is that it's going to be really hard to keep resolution in this sand casting using a full round project, whereas with 3D printing you can make two flats, two halves of a flat, and separate them. Something like that. It would lend well to 3D printing, is what I'm saying, in a very convoluted way. What is up? Jadid? Am I saying that right? How's it going? Ah, okay, gotcha. That makes a lot more sense, Chris. That makes a lot more sense. Hells yeah, let's do it, Alex. I was just saying that I think as far as sizing goes, what I can handle, just basically this amount of bronze that my flask can hold, or that my crucible can hold, is I could probably do. I mean, let's see. We gotta keep it. I'm thinking like maybe an inch and a quarter at its widest pummel spot, and then the majority of the handle being like 3/4 of an inch with some slight raises in there for texture. But and then you know what, um, maybe 5 inches total. Not go super big with it because right now I'm not capable of melting a large quantity of bronze at a time. But I think that that would be about perfect, and then I could cast it around the handle. So that it just kind of stays in place. I'm thinking I would finish the blade, heat treated and everything, and then put the tang in the flask to be sandcast with it, and then just cast straight around it, so I don't have to fit through that and risk distorting any of our finer work in the middle there. I think it would work really well. Yo, what's up in England, Kai? How's it going? I had a friend named Kai, an online friend named Kai, growing up that was from England, but he lived in Canada. Price range for something like that? Let's see. It kind of depends a little bit because there's a few variables in here that I'm unsure of how time consuming they're going to be. Being that I haven't done that kind of blade forging before, I have a pretty clear path to it in my head, but I'm not certain how long it would take. Although I'm fairly confident that I could get it done, you know, in a live session, in a day of forging. And then, Alex, how long do you think it would take for you to do the modeling on a handle kind of like that? I'm thinking, of course, maybe adding in our own style a little bit, not just doing an exact replica of the one from the Shadow. Roughly, what would your time modeling and then printing be on that? That could work really well. 3 days. I'm thinking about 3 days on my end too. I'd say this is probably somewhere in the like, I would guesstimate anywhere from 850 to like $1,300, and I know that's kind of a big ballpark, but I would have to kind of let you know at the end of it, just depending on time and materials, because then we're also looking at the bronze, which isn't going to be. I'd have to measure it. I have to weigh out some bronze to get a better idea of it. Just I don't have the mental calculations on my head, but yeah, I would say it's definitely not going to go over $1,300, and it's definitely not going to go below $800. So that's kind of the ballpark on that, but definitely doable within that. That would be a really fun project. I'm just looking at a picture of it. I really like this. I want to work on this. Oh, I'm seeing some other pictures here of the blade styles. Oh, now here I'm going to show you just a picture. This is a different thing that kind of came up. Okay, so this is a Tibetan Fruba knife as well. So it is a style of dagger. Check that out. Look at that. That is cool. And that's like, yeah, that's inlay. No, that's overlay. They brazed gold onto this. They did carving. They did some engraving carving on the blade, and then brazed gold on top of it for that one. That is really cool. Okay, I'm super into it. Simpler, smaller ones for cheap. Yeah, that's true. We could do like, so this is actually a really good proportion. This is proportionally really good of kind of what I was initially thinking. Just kind of to that guy's hand. But doing something smaller, like more of a kunai size, you know, like overall, would be definitely cheaper. Yeah, I know, right? That's sexy. I'm into it. And that is also the really cool thing about doing this digitally, having Alex do the 3D modeling. We can then just scale that down to do, like a full sized versus smaller sized as well. And then I can just forge bigger, smaller blades. I think this is something that I could, with a little bit of practice, I could forge blades in this style fairly quickly. I just kind of need to get my order of operations down. That's one of the cool things about blacksmithing is that like the first time that I'm doing something, like there's a lot of figuring out, there's a lot of sketching and like kind of learning how the steel wants to move in order to get to from point A to point B the fastest. But once I've done that, if I do it 2 more times, I can do it so fucking fast. Like I can really dial in my process. I haven't done much production work, if any production work really, other than stock removal, like neck knives and that kind of thing. I haven't done a whole lot of that. But it's something I've kind of wanted to play with. Like I've wanted a reason, like, let's make 20 of these. Why not? In this particular case, I do not think that I'm going to be making 20 castings in sand, just because it's an all-day affair to do a really good sand cast, because I spent so much time prepping my mold to get it right. Yes, Chris, I will do that. 3-foot sword, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Oh, that'd be so fun. Actually, this would be a sick sword. Thinking about that style of blade as a sword blade, that's like... I could pitch that to a movie. Like, I could make this blade and be like, do you want to make a movie based around this blade? Like, if I knew a director, I could make this happen. Because, like, oh, that would be just downright epic. Okay, so we're definitely going to make a sword style, too. Prep is king. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you prep it right... Also, I just got that. But serious though, if you prep it right, you can do anything. And then casting is such a good example of that, because if you don't prep things properly, you have a shit cast every time. Every time. It's all about prep. Like the pour itself is nothing compared to the prep. The actual carving in the wax is nothing compared to the prep, because if you do the prep wrong, all the other work is worthless. Show it? Show what? What I'm looking at right now is this knife, or this dagger from a movie. And we're talking about doing one kind of in a different style, hand forged, of course, making this thing handmade and smexy as hell. Ooh, hang on, get a load of this with some negative space. I don't have the capability to cast it with negative space right now, but look at that. Ooh, that looks nice. I would have to do that in Lost Wax, which I'm not able to yet, but that is really cool. Yeah, definitely. I do other stuff as well, although blades are... Yeah, investment casting makes it so much easier. It makes it almost perfect. It makes it perfect every time, so long as you know how to make it perfect every time. There's margin for error, but it's so much less than with sand. So much less. Dagger for sure. That's it. Dagger size is the best. But yeah, I do make things other than swords. My primary fixation and passion in metalwork is knives, swords, daggers, blades, that kind of thing. Is just what I love doing. But then getting out of metalwork, I do a lot of other stuff. And then in metalwork as well, like I really like making jewelry. I'm just kind of not super well set up for it right now. Although I do have a lot of the tools, I just haven't set up an area in my shop for it, because my shop's still in a jank state of mind. But what was I saying? Then I also do, like, leather work. I do suspenders, harnesses, belts, that kind of thing, and sheaths for my own knives. I do woodworking of various stuff. I used to do construction, that kind of thing. So, like, I mean, that kind of a broad spectrum. I'm capable of a lot of things except for toasters. Car antennas, man, I had some sick swords made out of car antennas when I was a kid. I had a dope rapier I made when I was a kid out of a car antenna. It was this car antenna. It was non-collapsible, so it was like one of those, like, it was just bendy. Oh, it was nice. Had the little tiny ball at the end, so you could like. I was carving Z's and everything with it as a kid. And then I made this wire guard for it, like a swept hilt. Oh, it was beautiful. I miss that thing till this day. Damn. It was my funny fencer sword. I had this character, so I watched the movie Zorro. I was like probably 8 years old. I watched the movie Zorro. I went and my parents had this like kind of scrapyard behind their house. It was a very small scrapyard. But like a friend of ours that was living there for a while had a truck that broke down and like just got put in the scrapyard. It was like where all of our old appliances and like junk that came with the property was. So I went over there and I took this antenna off of this guy's truck with consent, and I made this like wire guard for it, like a rapier, and then I was going around like carving my name in the dirt and like in apples and pumpkins and stuff. And I had this character called the Funny Fencer. And I was laughing and making jokes and fencing. And I would jump off of the roof and it was awesome. I miss those days. So cool. I felt like such a badass. How much for belts? Depends on what kind of belt you want. Something, like basically a really dope made by me version of a run-of-the-mill belt, meaning that the buckle was purchased. I purchased very high-quality buckles, and I can do it within your own style as well. And then I make it out of a really high-quality leather. I typically make them out of black latigo. If you don't want black, you'll have to let me know, but I can do it really any color. Are around $125. If you want something with either tooling or a hand-forged belt buckle, whether that be out of, iron, Damascus, kumai, copper Damascus, or mokumegane, which is a non-ferrous Damascus, then the price goes up from there depending on what it is that you want. So I can do really anything in there, and that kind of starts around 175 with an average of 250 if you want something actually really dope in that. But I make really cool belts. I make really cool suspenders. Yeah, and they range from 125, 150 up to 250, and they're kind of in that area. Oof. Oh, stretch. That felt really good. Thank you so much, Joey McGee, for the rose. Appreciate you. My signature where? On the belt? On the belt, yeah. I sign the things that I do. With that, it will be wet stamped in. But and I can also do that in any way you want. If you want like a signature belt, like if you wanted me to tool in or burn in my signature like across the whole thing on the show side of the belt, most certainly could do that. It actually look kind of dope. And if you want to just like the like standard touch mark put in an inconspicuous space on the belt, then that's what I would normally do. Let's see. Okay, I'm super into this idea of this like ritualistic dagger though. I'll be talking to you, Alex, about that later in more detail, but I think this would be a really fun project to work on together, and it would lend really well to the project to have this 3D printed instead of carved, just because I don't think that in my current casting setup that's really doable out of wax. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do a collaborative project with you for so long. In that, actually this rapier guard could have kind of worked like that too. Ooh, we got some stuff to talk about. Oh yes, please. Okay, hang on. Thank you so much, Simon, for the heart. I appreciate you. Oh, hang on, I need to check. We still have some tiny dinies to go, guys. I'm not gonna lie, we are nowhere near the 999 tiny dinies. I went for a lofty goal today. I know it's lofty. Chris, thank you so much for getting us closer to that goal. But I'm optimistic that we can make it happen. So y'all, if you got a tiny diny in the bag, throw it down. Throw it down for your boy. I appreciate you. Jordan, thank you so much. Oh, you guys are doing it. Chris, Jordan, thank you, thank you. Rose with the heart, thank you so much. Yes, that is 100% true. Ozification, also known as Alex. I'm always going to refer to him as Alex, but I need to, let people know who the fuck I'm talking to. Simon, thank you. Jordan, Simon, oh my God. Rose, Fairy, thank you so much. Y'all, Chris, thank you, thank you. Keep it coming. We're going for the 999 tiny dinies. Chris, thank you, thank you. For reals though, it's a lofty goal. I know. That's a lot of dinosaurs. That would bring back the population of dinosaurs into this world. And I hope that you'll do that for me. You'll bring back dinosaurs. I wish that I could have lived in the time of dinosaurs and played Ark Survival Evolved for realsies and gotten eaten by a raptor on day one. But unfortunately, that is not my reality. Thank you guys so much. Chris, throwing it down. Jordan, always throwing it down. Thank you, thank you. I feel like we got this one too. I think it's doable. I believe. Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at? Thank you, Chris. 7 more tiny dinies in the bag. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. And if TikTok will tell me any information that I actually want to see, we are at 376 out of 999 tiny dinosaurs. If we could just get a couple more of them prehistoric chickens in there, I think we can do this. Chris, thank you, thank you. Throwing that explosion in chat. That's what I'm talking about. I think it's an explosion. I actually can't see. It's the let's go. It's the let's go. I made it and I can't remember it. Or Chantal made it and I can't remember. I don't remember, but I uploaded it. Chris, thank you so much. Throwing down the tiny dinosaurs. The number's still ticking up. I don't even know how many, but we are getting closer and closer when it comes to the bag of prehistoric chickens. 135. My man, I appreciate you. We are at 50% of the goal. The lofty goal. I'm 100% aware this seems impossible, but I believe. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You mean the world. Really, life has been so good to me. I've met so many wonderful people, and I've gotten so much support. It has invigorated me through this summer. Summers are notoriously, really hard for me because I can't do what I love to do because it's just too damn hot. And, I try, and this summer I've done so much more blacksmithing than any summer ever before because of live streaming. I usually just kind of give up for a couple months because it's just too hot. But live streaming has encouraged me to kind of push myself through it a little bit. I've wanted to be forging even more than usual because I love live streaming. It's just so much fun. But just for the past few weeks, it's gotten to be too hot. It's just gotten worse and worse, and it's just too hot. So I'm taking a break, but it has kept me in the same brain space and the same drive and passion for it. So it really means a lot to me. Ayo, Sammy, what's up? How's it going? And yeah, dude, Chantal is an amazing artist, a really good graphic designer, and all that good stuff. So go follow Chantal. She's actually just started doing live streaming here on TikTok. She just got live capabilities 2 weeks ago and has been doing art lives. They're really fun to watch, super chill and satisfying, and just it's a peaceful place to be. And she's an amazing informational source. So if you're into artwork or just hanging out, watching a live stream, go follow Chantal. I have AC. I have a swamp cooler 2 rooms that way that we rely on desperately. It's rough. Yeah, dude. For real. Yeah, she's amazing. Actually, we have oh my god, I need to finish this. I just started setting up Chantal's website. Actually, she did my web design. She's fucking amazing. We do teamwork style. So I'll do the back end of kind of getting things set up, getting her basically a template to work with, and then she does the actual design work because it's kind of how I have that I have a very problem solving brain. I'm very good at steps. If I have I'm so good at Legos. If I have the instructions, I'm amazing at it. And then when it comes to like actually visualizing and like aesthetic and stuff, terrible at it. I don't know why. I just can't visualize it quite right. And that's where she comes in. She's so good at that stuff. So we teamwork. I do the instructional. I do the like very very a lot of people would call it boring, but I find it fascinating side of things. And then she will take over and do the dream building side of things. Here are some of her stickers actually that I again, she drew these and then I digitized and uploaded and had them printed. It's the way we work together. It's so good. But yeah, check these out. Aren't those dope? These are holographic, so they're like super rainbowy on this camera right now because the light is shining on them. Aren't those nice? So like we're gonna sell stuff like that and prints and custom orders and stuff on her website that I'm currently working on, and then she's gonna work on all that. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea, Chris. We should totally fill. This is the annoying thing. Actually, I have like a really dope like neon heart lamp right next to me on my that's like behind me here, and I would love to have stuff on the wall behind me, but it's a cinder brick wall. It's really annoying to attach things to, and like I could drill into it and put screws and stuff, but then it's forever ruined. It's so much harder to plaster and then match the texture. It's so I have a mental block around it. Oof. Let me show you a little bit of what I got going on though. This is my briefcase of goodies. So everything I'm about to show you is on my website right now. I'm actually gonna start with this one. This is a stiletto style leg dagger, super sexy. Like this is kind of what it would look like on an arm. But you can like strap it to your leg. If you do order this, make sure to let me know what size belts you'd like so that I can fit them to you. But yeah, some dope leather work on this. Some of my older leather work actually, and then we have a really pretty blade here. Apologies if it's dirty. I need to clean these. I just haven't cleaned them since my last show. But yeah, this is some of my work. This is actually a blade that I really, really like. I have no idea why this is still around because this is such a good knife. But here is the collector's drop point. Boom, look at that. Look at that sheath. Sexy. And then, man, I'm going to clean this one. Just a little bit. I don't have my cleaner cloth, but get a load at that. It's got the signature on it. I actually etched my full signature in this one. I know it's backwards right now just because I'm using the rear-facing camera. And then a nice Babinga wood handle with brass pins. Ooh! Beautiful. And then I got like some funky stuff. This is actually an original design of mine, at least to my knowledge. I've never seen anything like it before. Jordan actually got one in a similar style to this. I did a run of them, I think last year. I haven't come up with a name for this or anything, but this is, again, to my knowledge, an original blade design of mine, which I'm actually very proud of. I think it's really cool. And I've got some, this is some older work actually. It's been around for a minute. Again, I don't know why. I think this was one of the coolest ones of the batch. Like, look at that. With that, just it's just a belt knife. It's nothing super special, but it's crisp, it's clean, it's utilitarian, but it's also beautiful. And this has got the belt sheath as well, nice and simple, but I think it's sick. Like that. And I make everything out of really high quality Latigo, so like this thing is indestructible. It's indestructible. So that's a couple of the things I got on the website right now. I've got some other stuff as well. I got this that I'm working on right now. We're doing show and tell. This is a cable Damascus. Ashe, get the dust and grime. This is a cable Damascus paring knife that I recently forged. I forged this out of a piece of cable that was meant to go to a bridge. I knew a guy that worked at the factory, and I had him cut me off a piece. It's 1095 high carbon steel cable, really great knife steel. I twisted that really tight, forge welded it together into some Damascus, and then put on a stabilized Paduk handle. And I'm currently working on a sheath with that. I'm currently in the house. Mordor is over there, and I forgot the propane for Mordor. But next week I'll be back in Mordor. But 100%, I hand forge everything, dwarven style, dragon style, whatever, however you want to look at it. I'm out there with a hammer, anvil, and a very hot piece of steel most days out of the week. American Eagles today. Yo, Dwight, what is up? So good to see you. Command adhesive, that's what I was thinking about too, Chris, but we've tried command strips on these walls and they just come right off because they're textured. Like, it's hard for them to get the good grip. That is so true, Jordan. I'm scrolling up in chat right now, but it's so true. Chantal is amazing. Truly wonderful. Sorry about the camera shake there. Thank you so much, First Class Mage Oscar, for the heart. Chris, throwing down the tiny dinosaurs, them mini prehistoric chickens. Y'all, we are going for a goal of 999 tiny dinosaurs today in this live. Can we do it? We are over 50% of the way there. I'm confident. You know, it's a lofty goal, but I am confident. So if you guys could help me out, throw me some little chickens, I would really, really appreciate it. Chris, damn, throwing it down. My man, I appreciate you so very much. Ooh, that's not a bad idea, Alex. Actually, I could get like some of those gallery wire strips. Jordan with the prehistoric chickens as well, the miniature kind. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. That is it right there. Matching Chris chicken for chicken. I love calling dinosaurs chickens. They had feathers, okay? They were feathery. They had feathers. But that's actually a really good idea. I could do some of those like gallery style, those strips of metal that have like the brackets that hang the wires, and we can hang stuff off the wires. That could work. 150 tiny dinosaurs. Jordan, thank you so much. You actually surpassed Chris's dinosaurs, his little miniature chickens. The prehistoric, actually they're big. Maybe they're just normal sized chickens. A tiny dinosaur would be a normal chicken, right? Anyhow, surpassed by 30. Oh no. Oh no, we have a competition starting. I think that could be really good for hanging stuff behind me, because so I want to hang some of Chantal's art behind me. I want to hang some sick-ass weapons behind me. I want to hang the bullwhip that one of my fans sent me for my wish list, because it's like my favorite toy. And, you know, some other cool stuff maybe. I've always wanted a wall of weapons in my house. When I was younger, I made this like rack for all my swords because I was a weird kid. And it was jank. You know, it wasn't like unsturdy jank. It was just not pretty jank. Anyhow, I want a really sexy wall of swords in my life. And I was thinking that'd be an awesome background for my lives, for my indoor lives. Dinosaur equals chicken scream. That's what I'm talking about. All my favorite things. Chris coming with some more normal-sized chickens from the prehistoric point of time. Thank you so much. Oh, throwing it down. 55, 58, 61, 64, 67, 71, 73, 79. It actually wasn't 71. It was just 70. 90, 100, 104, 114. 119, 24, 26, 31. Damn. Okay, I don't know why I do this. I love doing it. It's just fun. But it's probably obnoxious. 80% dinosaur goal. 164 chickens. I mean, dinosaurs. Thank you so much, Chris. Oh, and Jordan throwing it down right afterwards. We're up to 34, 37, 39, 42, 47, 50, 52, 54, 59, 61, 63, 65, 70. Damn. Jordan, thank you so much. Chris, thank you so much. You guys are the best. You're so much fun. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Did we do it? No way. Did we do it? Are you serious? Are you serious? I was not expecting to make this goal today. I was not expecting this. Yo, thank you so much. 150 tiny dinosaurs, totally normal-sized prehistoric chickens from Jordan. Chris, Jordan, everybody else, thank you so much for smashing my goal today. Now we're just going to go over to something silly and fun. 999 tiny dinosaurs. You are the best. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. We're just going to do something silly from here on out. Wow. I'm floored. Thank you. Your support means so much to me. What is... Okay, hang on. What's the fun thing we could do for today? I'm just kind of loving... I think they took away my naughty chicken, actually. I'm not seeing it. They have a duck. A forever Rosa. They have a regular-sized, big-ass brontosaurus. Oh, we're going for Lucy the llama. Let's go for 50 Lucys. I've never seen a Lucy in chat before. We keeping it on the goosey side of things, you know what I mean? Simon, what is up? I'm so glad you're still here. Chris and Jordan, for real though? Y'all throwing it down. Y'all throwing it down for real. You got my back and I'm feeling it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Simon, thank you for your contributions to the miniature chicken. Prehistoric something or not. I don't even know what I was saying anymore. I got whack ways of looking at things. But I appreciate you nonetheless. For real. My weekend plans, I have no weekend plans. I never have weekend plans. I mean, I have so many weekend plans that I couldn't even begin to tell you about my weekend plans because I just don't know where to start. I'm probably gonna see my fam tomorrow. My parents usually stop by on Saturdays. They do the farmers market every week. They are farmers, and then my mom does like knit alpaca clothing on Etsy, and she's actually like super amazingly good at it. Go figure. My mom's a badass. My mom's really cool. But yeah, she does really cool knit alpaca clothing. And then my dad recently picked up glass blowing and is like a savant at it. So they've been vending at the farmer's market, doing that weekly, and then they bring whatever produce they have as well, which I'm really glad they're kind of slowing down on the farming side of things because it's hard on the body, man. I was getting worried about them for a minute there. That is what I am saying, Chris. You took the words out of my mouth. That is what I am saying. And both of you too, like, do not discredit yourself. You are an amazing dude. Like, seriously, I feel so lucky to have met so many wonderful people here on live. I had no idea. Thank you. It's kind of true though. Like, dude, my parents and I, like, we're just all like into making shit. We're super into making shit. My brother is like, you guys are fucking weird. I'm gonna go like be a normal ass human being and be great at it. My brother's super cool too. He's less into making shit. He's savagely good at music, but he doesn't do as much as I think he should. But yeah, so they'll stop by tomorrow. I'll get to hang out with my parents, which is cool. And then I don't really know what I'm doing on Sunday. You know, probably gonna chill the rest of Saturday. Town gets a little bit nutty on Saturday. Don't really have any plans. Might go grab some lunch or something. But then on Sunday, you know, that's the day that I prefer to go, like, you know, hit the ice cream shop or the wine bar or something, because things are a little bit slower on the Sundays. Like, it's just a little more chill. And yeah. And yeah, dude, my parents are fucking so talented. My mom is like an amazing woodworker, and she like you never know it 'cause she doesn't really do it. But then like I remember when I was a kid, she used to make all of our Christmas presents, and like she built some crazy shit, dude. She made me this like 2-scale medieval castle one year for Christmas, and I'm like looking back, I'm like, damn, dude, this is so well made. This is insane. No, I never have, but actually, something I've been wanting to do is like I was saying, my dad has gotten super into glass blowing recently, and a passion of mine that I don't really talk about too often, and I haven't really gotten to dive into very deeply yet, is I actually am really into film, and I really want to kind of work on my videography skills, and I'm actually thinking about going to college for it next year. Recently, because of Jordan and his support in me, I was able to acquire a film camera, and I've been really working on learning more about it and how to use it and how to properly like actually get into this. And it's just so much more in depth than I ever could have imagined, and it's been so fun and so hard and so fun. And a project I really want to do is I want to go out there and I want to film my dad blowing glass and get some practice in, because ultimately the goal is, of course, I want to be filming my own videos in what I do blacksmithing, but it's kind of tough filming myself, and I think that it would really help me to go out and practice filming someone else in order to be able to come over and start working on my own stuff. So I really want to do that with my dad, and I was talking to him about maybe doing a live stream of that, going out and working with him. I still haven't done any glass blowing ever, and I would really like to, so I was going to have him give me a little demonstration, teach me, let me play with it a little bit, and then also do some recording out there. And I was like, would you be into me live streaming some of this process? And he was open to it. My dad is notoriously not super into cameras, but I think we could convince him. And then the same thing with my mom. I think it'd be super fun to make, a short movie. When I say a short movie, I literally mean like 15, 20 minutes, like a YouTube video, but like doing like a kind of cinematic piece on what they do and them. I think would be super fun and a really great project for me to just kind of keep learning on this journey, because it's something I'm super fascinated in. Yo, Jordan throwing down the llama. Damn, that cute as hell. Oh, look at... I need a rose to be able to do it properly. That is a drippy llama. That is a drippy... Oh, he's throwing it like crazy. Throwing it down, throwing it back, all the things. And, oh my God, Jordan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. There's llamas popping up every day of the week. Oh my God, thank you. Oh, thank you, Jerry. And yeah, that sounds like so much fun. I think it'd be super cool. Jordan, my man. Oh my God, I appreciate you so much. Okay, the llamas are definitely coming back. That is so cute. I love that thing popping up. That is a drippy llama, though. I'm like trying to emulate some llama style over here. Like, get that TikTok chain. Can you imagine? Just like, I've been streaming for 4 months. I pull up with the TikTok chain. I'm gonna need one. I love that, though. Thank you so much, Jordan. You're wonderful. But yeah, I really want to record some of what my parents do, and if they're open to it, I would love to live stream some of it too. They're so talented, they're so interesting, and I learned so much from them, and I think that you guys would really love to kind of see what they do and get to meet them a little bit, Like, it's so incredible how I feel like I've made so many friends over live. Like, I feel like you guys are like, you're part of my friend group, and I think that's just so cool. Yo, Chris, thank you so much for the goose. Keeping it loosey, keeping it goosey. Thank you. Wait, hang on. Okay. I was like, Jordan, you didn't just finish off. You didn't just finish off that llama go live. Yes, my mother started out knitting, and she does knitting on all of her work. She knits wool, Angora, and alpaca. We used to raise Angora rabbits, and they actually recently sold off the last of their rabbits because it was just getting to be just too much on with everything else. Chris throwing down the llamas too. Oh, there's a whole caravan going through of these swaggy ass llamas. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And the sunglasses. I missed the sunglasses, but thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, my mom knits. She used to do everything hand knitting with needles. Like, this girl is quick. She's amazing. But then as she kind of started becoming, more of a professional in this and started like really just kind of getting overwhelmed by it, she moved on to knitting machines, which she also does by hand. But it's like, there are like these like, how do I even describe this? It's like a shuttle-based machine. So she's grabbing the shuttle, she's like knitting these things, and then she's sewing, and she works every single day at this. And she's amazing. If you want to check out her Etsy, it's Woolly Whatnots, spelled in the most chaotic way you could possibly imagine, that I cannot recall at this very moment. Hang on, let me... Damn, actually, freaking... Google. Oh no, she has competition. She has woolly whatnot competition. This is not my mother. Who is this bitch? Making figurines in the UK. I do not support this. I do not support this. I can never remember how to spell her Etsy store name. There it is. Okay. It's woolly whatnots. WOOLLYWHOTKNOTS. The most insane way of spelling whatnots. But yeah, she does really amazing work in the wool and alpaca clothing industry on Etsy. She's badass. Super cool. And yeah, all knit clothing, all done by hand. And she does all natural fibers, all natural dyes, and that kind of thing. Like she's super ethical and environmentally conscious. She's dope. A finger knit throw. Ooh. I can't say that's part of her usual lineup, but she's very open to custom orders, and you should talk to her about that. All right, will do. Will do. I know, right? That'd be so cool to do like kind of a documentary style little situation. And like I'm a novice when it comes to film, like beyond novice. Like I am just starting. But I think that that could be a really good place for me to start because it's the subject is already outstanding. So like it gives me so much to work with. It takes a professional to take an uninteresting subject and make them interesting. Um, but I would not have to worry about that here. Man, I haven't looked at her Etsy shop in a minute. She got some cool shit on here. Damn, girl. Okay. Okay. You go, Mom. Pop off. Okay. Damn. But yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, dude. I definitely got the creative artist gene from my fam. Like, I remember my dad when I was like really young. He would just I would just follow him around and like do whatever he was doing. He was always doing all kinds of shit, like building additions on the house, working in the wood shop. My dad taught himself luthier work and started making guitars, ukuleles, and gonies and koras, which are these African harps made out of a gourd. Really beautiful. They sound amazing. He just started he's like, I'm gonna learn how to make these, and he did it like phenomenally. He's so good. And then kind of like dust sensitivity and asthma runs on his side of the family, which unfortunately I think I got a little bit of that. I need to be very careful in the shop. I have to wear a respirator anytime I'm doing grinding. So he kind of moved away from working with wood and moved into glass. So he was able to ventilate it very well. But damn, just looking at some of my mom's stuff. She does such cool work. Yeah, then he moved on to glass, and he found his passion. Like he'll do that for 10 hours a day if he's not careful. My dad does not have a site. He did make an Etsy store, but he has like 2 things listed on it. He's not much of an online kind of person. My dad does mostly in-person sales. He goes by JS Ravens Glass on Instagram and Etsy. But he does a lot less online and a lot more in person. I've actually considered doing some like kind of cross marketing with him because he does so little online and be like, let's take some pictures of your work. We'll put it on my site and I'll sell it and just kind of like basically just cover the fees and then you keep the profits. But just kind of, I'm terrible about listing my own stuff. Like most of the time it will not get listed unless Chantal does it for me. So have not gotten there yet. Oh, I don't meet people in person because it stresses me out. I love the internet for that reason. Oh my god, Neptune, you're so cute. My dog is scooting around on his back like the most adorable puppy in the world. Yeah. Yeah, he's acting like he hasn't been super annoying all day. He's acting like he hasn't been barking at me all day. Throwing ropes at me. Wanting me to throw ropes at him. Ooh, yeah, I should do that. I should put some links on my website. Oh, stretch. Oh, the biggest stretch in the world. Oh, me and Tuna both. What's up, Tuna? What's up, buddy? What's up? What do you have? You have no rope. What do you even want if you have no rope? It's been the only thing you've cared about lately is rope. He's very obsessed with his rope. Alright. What was I doing? I was designing swords. This is what ADHD looks like. I was designing swords. Okay, I am super into this idea of casting up blades. And also, you know, I've never actually done any brazing. Do you have a dog wish list? Oh, okay, hang on. When you say that, do you mean a wish list for my dogs, meaning a, you know, like treats and toys, that kind of thing? Or are you talking about breeds of dogs that I hope to someday have in my life asking me to throw the rope around? Yes. For real, Chris. Ah, yes, buddy. Yes, buddy. Is it almost dinner time? It is almost dinner time. It's getting close. You gotta wait a little longer, though. He will push his dinner time as far forward as he can, and then the next day he will expect it even sooner, and then even sooner, and then even sooner until he's getting fed 5 times a day. That's what he wants. I do not currently have a Amazon wish list for my puppies, although I should definitely put some puppy toys and puppy treats. But I got him going. He's like, "What did you say?" Oh, now he's like, "Wait, hey, what were you talking about with them PTs and them P treats?" I do not. And as far as dogs that I would like to own, you know, let's see. When I was a child, I really wanted a bloodhound, you know, because it just sounds cool, and I like it. I like a droopy dog. A droopy dog's cute, even though I'm not super into getting slobbered on daily. But let's see. I actually don't know my dog breeds very well. Neptune is a gorgeous puppy. He is a Husky Weimaraner mix. He's got a whole lot in him, but he just turned out perfect somehow. He's the most beautiful dog, and I would not tolerate him as a human because he knows how beautiful he is, and he feels entitled to the world, which he is because he's a dog. If he were a human, oh god, I would never live with him. I know. He got feeded. He happy. It was later than I thought it was. And we actually just got some treats in the mail for him today. He's very excited. Weirdly enough, his favorite, he really likes vegetables. His favorite food and treat is cucumbers. He also really likes tomatoes and stuff like that. But his favorite, like, you know, purchased dog treat is he loves these dental bones that we get him from Sam's Club. I don't like. We were just like, man, you could use these. Your breath a little stinky right now. And they're like, they turned out to be his favorite treat. He just loves them for some reason. He goes ape shit when we get him these treats. So we just got some in the mail today. He's very excited. I know, right? It's too hot out, and I also may or may not have bought propane this week. So Forge is down. I'm inside. I'm doing design work and just getting constantly derailed and chatting. It's been fun. But yeah, I need to make a puppy wish list. Speaking of wish lists, I don't know if anyone's interested, but I love getting gifts in the mail, and my birthday's next month. If you want to hit up my Amazon wish list, just saying, shameless little me plug. I'll have to add some puppy stuff to that though, because you know they would love to get some stuff in the mail. My birthday is September 7th. No, not quite Beyonce's birthday, but it's close. I'm a Virgo, if you couldn't tell. So, ooh, I really like the knot style that's on this. I didn't notice that before. This is a really pretty dagger. Jesus Christ, that's $7,000. I'm messing up. It's a 15th century Tibetan Fruba. 12.5-inch bronze. Okay, it is bronze. And that's about the length. Check this out. We were looking at this earlier. That's $7,200 on Etsy. That's really cool. See, I want to make stuff like this. Just the artwork in it is outstanding. Oh, and it's done exactly how I was talking about doing it too. This is cast around the tang. There's no way that they put this on afterwards. This was cast on. That is so cool. That is so cool. The kilt's still not working. I've had a couple people tell me that they've tried getting the kilt. If you're talking about the like studded leather, like Roman style kilt from my wish list, a couple people have been like, "Man, you look so good in that. I trying to get it for you, and it just won't work. I don't know what it is. I think it's that whoever's selling it on Amazon is like, you know, banned from being part of wish lists because they went and like did something sussy or something." But yeah, the kilt for some reason has been the impurchasable gift. It's a bummer too. Like I really like leather clothing. I think it's really cool. Like, you know, I'm a huge fan of leather jackets, you know, leather pants, all that stuff. Like I really like want to upgrade my wardrobe in that direction. But it's expensive, you know, so I've been hoping. But then for some reason, all of the people on Amazon selling that are so incompatible with wish lists that it hasn't worked when people have tried to get the stuff. And it's just like, it's a shame. It is a downright shame. Damn. That is such a bummer, Jordan. Oh. I'm sorry for literally everyone involved. The people who would view the photos, myself, who would create them. That is a downright shame. Yo, later, Chris. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for your support today. So good hanging out with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you next week. Probably not going to do anything over the weekend. Maybe a cheeky little video game stream on Twitch or maybe over here. I don't know, but probably not. Probably just going to chill this weekend. I got so much editing to do. I was going to do some editing today. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we shall see. What I was saying, though, about this dagger that I'm looking at is this was made exactly the same way that I was thinking about making this kind of thing. Oh, it's so sexy. Damn. That is cool. This was definitely cast around the tang, though. And you can tell, I mean, if you cast around the tang and you put any kind of texture in that tang, what I'll usually do with any of my like hidden tang blades, if they're not peened over, is I'll cut notches inside of the tang so that the epoxy that I use fills into those notches and then fills into the pores of whatever material I'm using. And I'll also usually cut notches into the pores of those, or into the actual material of the handle, whatever that may be, to match the ones in the tang, basically making it to where the epoxy fills both spaces. It'll do something kind of like this. So like say I have a tang here. You see this? Yeah. Tang here, cut a notch like this, and I'll usually stagger them to keep strength. Cut a notch like that, and then this is the handle material that it's laid in. I actually did this wrong because I didn't do it, so you're going to have to just imagine with me. If I cut a notch here too, and a notch here into the handle material. Wow, that was terrible drawing. But if I do that, the glue fills all of this space. And then it goes into both of these notches, creating a mechanical connection there as well as a chemical connection, making it where there's no way that this can pull forward. And that's probably what they did here in this bronze. So they cut notches into this tang and then poured the bronze around it. So the bronze is actually filled into those notches, and there's absolutely no way that this could be pulled apart, which is so cool. And you don't have to worry about cutting the notches in there because it just happens when you pour the bronze around. But it also creates... This makes it happen so much faster. Like, it's a lot of work fitting a tang to a bronze guard because you have to like meticulously file it or carve it. And in this case, it's so long that that's not even an option. But for this blade in particular, they just cast around it, making it to where this is actually an extremely efficient way of making a very intricate knife. All right, later, Jordan. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for hanging out here. Thank you so much for your support in me. I truly appreciate and love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. And you know, I think I'm actually going to dip here too. It is 5 o'clock here. I got to go get myself some dinner and hopefully get a little bit of video editing done tonight. If not, it can happen over the weekend. It's all right. It's all right. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining me here today. It's been really fun, really awesome hanging out, super chill. It's nice doing these kind of more low-key streams and getting to actually hang out with you guys. Because when I'm forging, I'm not entirely present with the chat. I'm more present with the anvil, which is dope. But it's nice to actually get to connect a little bit. So it's been fun. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will catch you all next week. Make sure to go check out the links tab on my website. Follow me on all my other socials in case I have any fun updates for you. All that good jazz. But yeah, peace. Love y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.